愿大家平安。
May peace be with all of you.
我们来看以赛亚书的30章。
Let's turn to the book of Isaiah, chapter 30.
以赛亚书的30章。
Isaiah, chapter 30.
30章的15节。
Verse 15. For thus says the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest you shall be saved, in quietness and confidence shall be your strength. But you would not. 16. And you said, No, for we will flee on horses, therefore you shall flee. And we will ride on swift horses, therefore those who pursue you shall be swift.
17节。
Verse 17. 1,000 shall flee at the threat of one, and the threat of 5 you shall flee, till you are left as a pole on top of a mountain, and as a banner on a hill.
这里说，以色列的圣者如此说。
Here it says that the Holy One of Israel says so.
以色列的圣者就是天上的神。
So the Holy One of Israel is the heavenly Lord God.
那神讲的话就是真理，
So the word spoken by God is the truth.
安定在天，直到永远。
And that the words will remain in heaven until forever.
在世界每一个角落都适用。
And the words of God is applicable to every corner in the world.
在历史每一个时刻都是适用。
And it's applicable to every era in history.
所以找到神的话我们人生是找到至宝。
So if we are able to find the words of God, we have found the very precious treasure in
这里
life.
说你们得救在乎归回安息。
So here it says that in returning and rest you shall be saved.
我们个人的问题要得到解决。
If our personal problems were to be resolved,
这里告诉我们有一个秘诀
here tells us of a secret,
就是要归回，
that is to return,
归回向神。
to return to the Lord.
因为有时候我们问题会发生，是因为偏离了神。
Because sometimes our problems occur because we have gone astray from God.
而神的话是完全的。
And the word of God is complete
是我们人生的手册一个准则。
and is the principle of our lives.
所以离开神的话就开始出问题。
So if we are deviated from His words, then we will face problems.
所以得救在乎归回。
So for us to be saved, we have to return.
那下面说得力在乎平静安稳。
And then following it says that in quietness and confidence shall be your strength.
这里中文只有一句话如果看英文它只2个。
In the Chinese context, it only mentions one noun, but in English it says quietness and confidence.
第一个就是在很平静，第二个是 confident 或有的英文翻作 trust， 或者在信靠中这是我们的力量。
So here it says that in quietness and in confidence shall be your strength.
那这个 confident 信心或者说信靠其实是同一件事情。
So confidence and reliance is actually
Trust,
one, and trust is one matter.
因为我们有信心，我们才会靠神。
Because only when we have faith, when we have trust, we will rely on God.
我们活得越久，我们发现人生有几件事情很重要。
The longer we live, we know that we realize that there are a few matters in life that
第
are
一件
very
事
important.
情要有智慧
The first is to have wisdom,
智慧跟我们的决定很有关系
because wisdom is closely related to our decisions.
如果做错了决定，
If we make the wrong decisions,
好像我们开车开错了方向，
for example, if we take the wrong turn when driving,
有时候会白走一趟
sometimes we'll waste some time rerouting,
有时候会浪费很多时间
and sometimes we waste a lot of time.
所以第一个要有智慧。
So the first is we need to have wisdom.
那第二个，我们活着需要有爱，
Secondly, as we live, we must have love,
爱与被爱都是很重要的。
because to love and to be loved are important.
有爱，我们的关系才会好，
And with the existence of love, our relationships can be good.
对神对人的关系才会好。
The relationship with God and the relationship with man.
那第三个就是要有力量
And thirdly, we must have strength
有力量来面对我们前面所要走的路
to have the strength to face the path that is before us,
有力量来面对我们的困难
to have strength to face the problems that we're facing,
有力量来面对我们的责任。
to have strength to face the responsibilities that we have.
但是这里地方告诉我们，力量从哪里来？
But here tells us, where does our strength come from?
力量是从平静跟信靠中来的。
Here it says that in quietness and in confidence shall be your strength.
也就是说如果我们的信仰生活，我们懂得安静，懂得信靠神，我们就会有力量。
That is to say that in our spiritual life, if we know how to find quietness and confidence, then we will gain strength.
倒过来讲，如果我们没有力量，可能我们的信仰生活我们从来没有安静过。
In other words, if we do not have strength in our spiritual life, perhaps we never had quietness in our lives.
或者说我们从来没有信靠过神。
Or perhaps we have never had confidence and trusted in God.
如果我们在神面前真的安静下来，又懂得信靠，我们就会有力量。
If we really know how to quiet down and be confident before God, then we will gain strength.
那这个是神讲的话，这是一个非常重要的对我们的提醒。
So this is something spoken by God, and it's a very important reminder to us.
但是如果我们看15节的下半句，
But if we look at the second portion of verse 15,
你们静置不肯。
but you would not.
其实当时以色列百姓遇到很大的困难。
At that time, the Israelites faced with great difficulties
因为一个强国亚述已经到了门口了，
because the very strong kingdom, Assyria,
马上就要攻打
has
他们
approached them
把他们打败，把他们使他们受苦。
and is about to conquer them to bring a lot of sufferings to them.
那这么大的困难，
Such a huge affliction,
神的百姓不懂得信靠神，
but God's people did not know how to rely on God.
只要想用人的方法来解决，
They wanted to resolve the problems using man's methods,
那去求告埃及。
and they relied on the help of Egypt.
但是神讲得很清楚，
But God tells us clearly
说你们要归回，然后你们要在神面前安静信靠，你就有力量。
that you have to return and rest, and then in quietness and confidence you will gain strength.
那15节说你们静置不肯。
But in verse 15 it says, but you would not.
所以有时候我们在想我们自己的一生，
So sometimes when we reflect on our whole
真
lives,
的也是这样
it could be the
我
same.
们遇到一些困难，
We face with a lot of
我们要
afflictions.
做一些决定，
We ought to make some decisions.
我们要走前面的路，
We want to face the path before
我
us.
们真的需要神给我们力量。
We need the strength given by God.
但是我们竟然不愿意真的安静在神面前来信靠神。
But on the other hand, we're not willing to quiet down and have confidence to trust in God.
所以16节，
Followed by verse 16.
16节说，我们要骑马奔走。
And you said, no, for we will flee on horses.
因此我们在这个很忙碌的社会里面，
Therefore, in this very busy society,
我们已经忙惯了。
we are used to being busy.
所以没有办法安静下来。
That is why there's no way we can quiet down.
那有时候忙碌，我们自己会感觉到好像我们的人生很充实。
Sometimes we think that by being very busy, it seems as though we are very accomplished and we lead a very fulfilled life.
那有时候我们安静下来，感觉到罪恶感，好像我浪费了时间。
Or sometimes when we quiet down ourselves, we feel guilty as though we're wasting our time.
因此我们需要安静的时候，我们还是一直在忙碌。
That is why in times that we're supposed to be quiet, we keep on being busy.
所以虽然神说你要平静安稳，这就是你的力量，
Even though God says that in quietness and confidence shall be your strength,
但是他们还是要骑马奔走到处去寻求解决的方法。
but they still wanted to flee on horses to seek for methods to resolve their problems.
那到了17节，
When it comes to verse 17,
一人刺喝，1000人逃跑，5
1000
人刺喝，你们都必逃跑。
1,000 shall flee at the threat of one, at the threat of 5 you shall flee.
这个代表其实他们很软弱。
This represents that they are very weak.
只要一个人叫，1000个人就逃跑。
As long as one threatens them, 1,000 shall flee.
5个人叫，大家都跑光了。
And if 5 threatens,
所以
all of you shall flee.
看起来很忙，但是缺乏一股力量来面对 他们的困难。
It seems as though they're very busy, but they lack this power to resolve their problems.
今天有时候我们也是这样，
Sometimes today we're like this.
看起来很忙，
We seem as though we're very occupied.
每一天从早上起来到晚上睡觉，
From the moment we wake up until we go to bed,
真的很忙。
we are very busy.
但是忙不等于我们有一股力量来面对我们的困难。
But being busy does not mean that we have the strength to overcome our problems.
所以现在人很忙，但是稍微遇到困难，马上就精神开始发生问题。
That is why the people these days, they're very busy, but once they face with problems, they suffer from mental issues.
稍微医生诊断你身体有问题，晚上睡不着。
Once the doctor diagnosed that you have some health issues, you're not able to sleep at night.
再来你上班的公司开始听到说要裁员，开始又睡不着。
Once you hear that your company is starting to lay off people, then you can't sleep again.
为什么？
Why is that
因为
so?
我们没有一股力量在里面。
Because you lack this strength.
这些问题对我们就是压力。
All these problems to us are stress.
如果我们有力量，
If we have this strength,
再多的问题我们都能够来面对。
we're able to overcome and face even more problems that
如
we
果
face.
我们没有力量，
If we lack strength,
小小的问题我们就睡不着。
we couldn't sleep at night because of some minor problems.
所以我们在信仰生活当中怎么去得到力量这是非常重要的。
It is very important how we gain strength in our spiritual life.
那这个地方就讲得到力量要2点要去做。
Here it says that in order to gain strength, you need to do two things.
第一件事情要安静
First is to quiet down.
第二件事情要信靠。
Secondly, it's to have confidence.
我们在圣经里面翻来翻去神要用一个人，常常第一个功课就是要训练他安静。
From studying the Bible, we know that each time when God wants to use a person, the first thing that He wants to train that person on is to quiet down himself.
真的，神在用人跟人在用人不太一样。
When God uses a person, it's different from another person using another.
你看，神要用摩西，
For example, when God wants to use Moses,
因为以色列百姓受到苦难，
because the Israelites were in affliction,
他的哀声达到神面前，神听见了。
and their cry has reached God, and God has heard their cry.
他的苦情神看见了，
And God has seen their suffering,
那神的心肠很软啊，
and God has mercy.
神就从天上下来要救以色列百姓。
So He descended from heaven wanting to save the
那
Israelites.
怎么救呢？就是借着摩西，
So how could He save these Israelites? That is done through Moses.
神要用摩西。
That is why God wants to use Moses.
但是摩西虽然在王宫40年，
But Moses has been living in the palace for 40
生活很
years.
舒服，
He led a complacent and comfortable
教育
life,
也很好，
and he was highly educated,
信心也不错，
and he has good faith
因为他放弃了王孙的地位，
because he has forsaken the throne.
他放弃了埃及的财宝，
He has let go of the treasures of Egypt.
他放弃了在王宫的享受。
He has let go of the enjoyment in the palace.
那这样的一个人，神要用他，不是很好吗？
Isn't it not very good? Isn't it very good for God wanting to use a person like this?
我们发现神只用他1天，
But we know that God only used him for a
发
day,
现他不能用。
and realized that he was not good to be used.
就送他到旷野40年。
And he was sent to the wilderness for 40 years.
这个40年没有像王宫有仆人，有很多人。40宫在旷野里面只有他跟羊群。
And in this 40 years, it's not like he has servants or people to serve him, but rather it's just him and the flock.
安静40年。
He lived in quietness for 40 years.
那这个40年真的摩西改变了。
And in this 40 years, Moses has changed.
怎么改变？
How did Moses change?
如果我们看出埃及记，就可以看出他的改变。
If we turn to Exodus, we will see the change in Moses.
出埃及记14章。
Exodus chapter 14.
出埃及记的14章。
Exodus chapter 14.
第10节。
Verse 10. And when Pharaoh drew near, the children of Israel lifted their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. So they were afraid, and the children of Israel cried out to the Lord.
这里讲埃及人 赶来。
Here it says that the Egyptians marched after them.
前面有红海，后面埃及人来。
Before them was the Red Sea, and behind them was the Egyptians.
要进进不去，要退没路退。
They couldn't move forward, nor would they able to take a step back.
那大家就怕起来了。
So everyone became afraid.
那到11节，
And in verse 11,
你看他们怎么讲呢？
we see what did they say to
你把我
Moses?
们带来死在旷野吗？
Have you taken us away to die in the wilderness?
然后你为什么这样待我们呢？
Why have you so dealt with us?
那12节，
Verse 12.
在埃及岂不是说过不要搅扰我们，容我们服侍埃及人吗？
Let us alone that we may serve the Egyptians.
没有一句话感谢，
There were not a single word of gratitude,
都是埋怨。
and they're all words of murmur.
所以在最困难的时候安静不下来啊。
And when they were in their most difficult times, they were not able to quiet down themselves.
因为这是没有操练过的选民，
Because they're the chosen ones who have not yet been trained.
他没有力量来面对这个困难。
They did not have the strength to face with this affliction.
所以困难一来到，埋怨马上出来。
So when suffering or affliction comes, they start to murmur.
因此，到底我们有没有属灵的力量？
Do we actually have the spiritual strength?
非常清楚，困难来到，我们怎么回应？
We can clearly see it looking at our reaction when we face with affliction.
好，那我们看摩西
Let's look at Moses.
13节，请读。
Verse 13. And Moses said to the people, Do not be afraid, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall see no more forever.
摩西说不要怕，只管站住。
Moses told the people, Do not be afraid and stand still.
然后看14节，
And verse 14.
神必为你们征战，你只管静默不作声。
The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace.
摩西能够很安静，
Moses was able to quiet down
因为他有力量。
because he had the strength.
以色列百姓安静不下来，
The Israelites could not quiet down
因为他们没有力量。
because they lack strength.
所以这个摩西在旷野40年的这个操练真的是很重要。
So the training that Moses have gone through in this 40 years in the wilderness is very important.
这么大的责任，
Such a big responsibility.
如果他没有力量来面对，
If he didn't have the strength to face them,
可能在红海旁边就像打那个埃及人这样就打起来了。
perhaps he would have fought with the Egyptians right near the Red Sea.
那红海就过不去了。
Then they would not be able to cross the Red Sea.
所以他很安静。
So Moses was very quiet.
那这就是他的力量，神与他同在。
This was his strength because God was with him.
所以红海就可以分开。
That is why the Red Sea was opened apart.
所以人一生要学习安静这是一个属灵的功课。
It is a spiritual homework that we have to learn to quiet down in our lives.
摩西本身是一个例子。
Moses himself is an example.
好，我们现在来看路加福音第1章17节。
Now let's turn to Luke chapter 1 verse 17.
路加福音第1章17节。
Luke chapter 1 verse 17.
第1章17节。
Luke chapter 1 verse 17. He will also go before him in the spirit and the power of Elijah to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready the people prepared for the Lord.
这个地方讲施洗约翰要有以利亚的心智能力。
Here it says that John the Baptist has the spirit and the power of Elijah.
然后我们看16节。
Then let's refer to verse 16.
他要许多以色列人回转归向他们的神。
And he will turn many of the children of Israel to the Lord their God.
所以施洗约翰的工作是要把人的心转回来，让他归向神。
So the work of John the Baptist is to turn the hearts of the people back to the Lord.
人的心有这么容易改变啊？
Is it so easy to change the hearts of men?
你想想看，我们自己的心多难改变啊！
Let us ponder how difficult it is to change our own hearts.
但是下一句，
But the next
他
verse,
有以利亚的心智跟能力。
But he has the power and the will of Elijah.
所以能够叫父亲的心转向儿女，叫悖逆的人转从义人的智慧。
That is why he was able to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just.
所以施洗约翰他是有能力，
So John the Baptist has the power.
有以利亚的能力。
He has the power of Elijah.
可见以利亚的能力非常大，
So it is obvious that the power of Elijah is great.
因为当时以色列百姓跑去拜偶像，
Because when the Israelites went to worship the idols,
得罪了神，
they have offended God.
天3年半不下雨，
And there was no rain for 3
国
years.
中饥荒，
And there was famine.
好多人死了。
Many people died.
这个以利亚的目标就是要把他们带回来，回转向神。
And the goal of Elijah was to bring these people to return to God.
那这个以利亚的能力不是他自己的能力，
But this power of Elijah is not his own.
人有什么能力？
What power do men have?
人本身是没有能力的，
Men have no power
我
on
们
our
是
own.
微尘啊。
We are made of dust.
以利亚的能力是神的能力。
But the power of Elijah is the power of God.
那为什么以利亚跟你跟我是一样是人？
How is it that Elijah, just like you and I, he's just a person,
他能够有这么大的能力，神的能力，让以色列百姓回转？
but he has such great power to make the hearts of the Israelites return to God?
因为他有安静，还有信靠。
That is because he has the quietness and the confidence.
好，我们看列王纪上17章
Let's turn to 1 Kings chapter 17.
列王纪上17章
Let's turn to 1 Kings chapter 17.
列王纪上17章
1 Kings chapter 17,
第2节，
verse 2. Then the word of the Lord came to him, saying, Get away from here and turn eastward and hide by the brook Cherith, which flows into the Jordan.
第4节，
Verse 4. And it will be that you shall drink from the brook, and I have recommended the ravens to feed you there.
OK，第5节，
Verse 5. So he went and did according to the word of the Lord, for he went and stayed by the brook Cherith, which flows into the Jordan.
从18章开始是以利亚怎么把以色列百姓的心转回。
Starting from chapter 18, it records how Elijah starting to turn the hearts of the Israelites to God.
所以18章可以看到以利亚的心智跟能力。
So starting from chapter 18, we could see the spirit and the strength of Elijah.
那17章就在讲以利亚这个能力怎么得到的。
And 17 tells us how did Elijah first get his strength.
所以在第3节神告诉他，你离开这里，
And in verse 3, God tells him, Get away from here.
然后你往东边藏在基利溪旁。
Turn eastward and hide by the brook Cherith.
基利溪旁只有以利亚一个人。
Hide by the brook Cherith, just himself alone,
你跟
Elijah.
谁讲话？没有一个人啊。
He couldn't speak to anyone because he was alone there.
他带什么去？什么也没有。
And he brought nothing with him.
他要吃什么？
What should he eat?
吃乌鸦叼的饼。
He ate the food that has been brought by the raven.
他要喝什么？
And what should he drink?
喝那个溪水啊。
He drank water from the brook.
没有比这个生活更简单了。
There's no life more simple than this.
但是就在这个地方，他从神得到能力。
But it is in this location that he gained the strength from God.
为什么？
Why?
因为第一个，那是一个安静的地方
First, because this is a quiet place.
因为没有人啊，
Because there's no one else but him.
很安静，所以才能够有心来面对神。
Because it was so quiet that he could face God all himself.
我们今天为着工作，我们要上班，
And today, because of work,
所以我们在上班当中要面对很多的人
when we at our work, we have to face many people.
这个是不能避免的
This is something unavoidable.
但是有一件事情，我们自己可以安排，
But there's something that we can arrange for ourselves.
就是我们生活当中安排一个自己独处的时间。
We can set aside a time for ourselves to be just alone.
就是你一个人
Just alone by yourself.
为什么
Why?
因为当一个人只有一个人的时候
Because when you're alone by yourself,
他很容易专心
it's easy for you to stay focused.
所以为什么祷告要眼睛要合起来？
Why do we close our eyes when we pray?
因为你眼睛如果没有合起来，周围都是人啊，
Because if you don't close your eyes, you have a lot of people surrounding you,
你看了心就会分心啊。
and then you get distracted.
那眼睛一合起来，
But once you close your
你
eyes,
前面一个人都没有啊，
there's no one before you,
所以就很容易专心
so it's easy to concentrate.
那再加上你关上心门
And then when you shut the doors of your heart,
把这个世界的事情全部拿掉
to shut the things of the world away.
所以有一个姐妹在见证
So there's this sister who bear testimony
她说他们教会有在早祷会，
that her church has got early morning prayer,
早祷会得的恩典特别多
and the grace received through this morning prayer is even more significant.
难道早上的神比较有力量，晚上的神就没有力量吗？
Is it that the God in the morning is more powerful than the God at night?
当然神的力量是没有改变的
Of course, the power of God remains the same,
但是人在早上容易专心，
but it's easier for people to focus in the morning.
那专心就能够跟神建立关系。
And when you're able to stay focused, you can establish a relationship with God.
所以耶利米书里面说，你要专心寻求神，就必寻见。
And in the book of Jeremiah, it says that you have to seek God wholeheartedly, and you shall find God.
所以为着要专心，所以我们需要有安静的时间。
And in order to seek God, we have to have this quiet time.
这是第一个，为什么以利亚到基利西旁？
This is the reason why Elijah went to the brook of Cherith.
那我们现在还有一个挑战，
And another challenge that we're facing today,
即使你自己一个人在家里，
even if you're alone at home,
也没有办法专心
you're not able to concentrate.
为什么没有办法专心？
Why can't you stay focused?
你读圣经读一读，等一下叮一下，简讯来了。
Because as you're reading the Bible, suddenly your phone might ring and then you receive a text message.
祷告到一半又叮一下，
And when you're praying halfway,
来
suddenly
看一看，再继续祷告。
the phone rings again and you'll just read the message and then continue to pray.
那个祷告已经没有办法很专心了。
That means you're not staying focused in your prayer.
所以现在的人即使一个人独处也没有办法专心
So the people these days, even if they're alone, they're not able to concentrate
因为太多事情让我们分心
because there are too many distractions in our lives.
让人欲望越多，越不容易专心
The more desires, the more difficult it is to concentrate.
广告让你头脑在想，我等一下去哪里买东西
The advertisements make us want to make us think of where to shop later after the prayer,
甚至安息日来这里
or on Sabbath day when we're gathered in the church.
人是在教会
We might be physically present in the
但是
church,
心没有办法专心，
but our hearts cannot concentrate.
为什么？
Why?
有时候通过这个手机，心又回到世界去
Because sometimes through this handphones, our mobile phones, our hearts return back to the world.
所以这个安静不只是说自己一个人，这个安静包括我们的心没有被吸引往外走。
So this quietness does not only mean we're being alone, but rather our hearts need to stay focused.
所以我们在非洲有时候我会听见他们体验很多。
So sometimes, so in Africa, I heard many sharings that they shared with me.
为什么？
Why?
因为带钱去也没有地方买东西
Because even if you go there with money, you're not able to buy anything.
我曾经在奈及利亚1块美金买100多个橘子。
Once in Nigeria, with $1, I was able to buy 100 tangerines.
那个是1980年代。
That was in the 80s.
那除了橘子之外，你什么也没有可以买。
And besides the tangerines, what else could you buy?
那你一天可以吃1块美金的橘子吗？没有可能。
And is it possible for you to consume 100 tangerines in a day?
所以到那个地方变成欲望很少，
So in a place like that, you have less desires.
祷告很容易专心。
It's very easy to concentrate in your
那你
prayers.
不要说到到非洲去。
Let's not go to the extent of
我
talking
们
about
80
going to
年代、
Africa.
90年代，每一次开联合会都要很多人，有时候看异象，有看天使，有时候就很多体验了。
In the 80s and 90s, there are many truth seekers who come to church, and they often have a lot of sharings on seeing visions of angels.
我觉得祷告本身会感觉到神的能力下来，
or they can feel the presence and the power of God in their prayers
因为专心，
because they were able to concentrate
人心能够安静下来，
and because the hearts of man could quiet down.
安静下来才能够真的拜神。
When you can quiet down, that's when you can truly worship God.
所以为什么圣经里面讲安息日要什么工作都不可做？
That is why the Bible says that on Sabbath day we should not do any circular work.
为着要让我们专心来拜神。
The purpose is so that we can concentrate to worship God.
那甚至在出埃及记里面在讲安息日你家里所有的奴仆婢婢全部工作全部要停止。
And as recorded in Exodus, on Sabbath day, even your slaves have to stop their labor.
有时候我们看那个开餐馆的弟兄来守安息日。
Sometimes we see our brothers and sisters who are working in a restaurant to come for service on Sabbath day.
感谢神啊，他能够来真的是不简单啊。
It's indeed not easy, and thank God that they're able to be present on Saturday.
但是人来到这里，等一下电话又想要出去一下。
But even though they're in church, sometimes they receive phone calls and they have to go out for a while.
等一下电话又想又出去一下。
And then the phone rings again and they leave the church
这个
again.
心没有办法安静下来。
They're not able to quiet down their hearts.
所以人的心没有办法专心，没有办法安静下来，我们的体验就越来越少。
The less able you are to quiet down your hearts, the less experience will you have.
所以为什么说我们人要安静才能够得力量？
This is why we say that we have to quiet down in order to gain strength.
因为安静，我们才能够用心来拜神。
Because only through quietness we're able to concentrate in worshiping God.
那第二个就是信靠。
And the second portion is on the confidence.
这里以利亚吃什么？
So here, what is Elijah's food?
吃乌鸦雕饼。
Elijah ate the food being brought to him by the raven.
那乌鸦什么时候雕饼？你没有办法控制啊。
So when did the ravens get the bread and meat? It's beyond Elijah's control.
所以每一次肚子饿，他只有信靠神啊。
So every time Elijah is in hunger, he could only rely on God.
神啊，你告诉我乌鸦在雕饼啊。
So God, please tell me the ravens are getting the bread and meat for me.
现在我肚子饿了，请你猜乌鸦来吧。
Now that I'm hungry, please send forth the raven.
所以他的每一餐都要信靠神。
So his every meal was depending on God.
那这个信靠神，就是我们心灵的最深处跟神连在一起，
So
这就是力量的来源。
So this trust in God is the source of power whereby from the deepest part of our hearts we are establishing a relationship with God.
所以不是说我们祷告就会得力量。
It's not that only through prayers itself we can gain strength.
一个非常重要就是我们心里的最深处连在哪里。
The most important concept is that is where does the deepest part of our heart attach to?
我们看下来看耶利米书17章。
Let's turn to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17.
耶利米书17章
The book of Jeremiah, chapter
第
17,
7节。
verse 7. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 7. Blessed is a man who trusts in the Lord and whose hope is the Lord.
第8节。
Verse 8. And he shall be like a tree planted by the waters, which spreads out its roots by the river, and will not fear when heat comes, and its leaf will be green, and will not be anxious in the year of drought, nor will cease from yielding fruit.
这里讲信靠的神，好像树栽在水旁。
Here it says that, for whose hope is the Lord, shall be like a tree planted by
这
the
个
waters.
什么意思？
So what does this mean?
地下面是生根的地方，
Below the earth is where the roots grow.
是眼睛看不到的地方
It's somewhere that we cannot see.
所以人最深是在人的心里面。
So the deepest part of our heart, the deepest part of us is our hearts.
那信靠神，他心的最深处就是跟神连在一起。
So to trust in God is to have the deepest part of ourselves, which is our hearts, being attached or connected to God.
好像树栽在水旁。
Just like the plants being planted by the tree,
那我们
by the waters.
怎么知道树栽在水旁？
How do we know if the tree is planted by the
你
waters?
就先看几个月不下雨了，它叶子会不会枯干？
That is to observe the tree to see if the leaves will dry up after a couple of months without rain.
我们就看天气很热，它还会不会开花结果？
On a very warm day, the tree is still able to blossom, to
如果
have
会
flowers blossoming. If it's able to,
它看不见那个根是扎在水旁。
the root that you cannot see is planted by the waters.
所以我们人有没有力量？
So whether or not we humans have the strength,
你就看到炎热来到，遇到困难的环境，炎热来到，
you will look at when the heat comes or when the afflictions come.
看到干旱之年，这个人是不是还有一种基督徒的表现？
And during the years of drought, do we still have the characteristics of a true Christian?
是不是还有平安有喜乐？
Do we still have peace and happiness?
如果有，
If we do,
他就是有力量的基督徒。
he is a Christian with
如果有，
strength. If yes,
就是表示他心的最深处是跟神连在一起的。
it shows that the deepest part of his heart is connected to God.
所以有的人他的心是跟钱连在一起的，
Some people's hearts are connected to wealth.
他的最深处是依靠钱的，
The deepest part of his heart is connected to money.
不是跟神连在一起啊。
It's not connected to God.
那你祷告再迫切也没有力量。
Even though you pray very zealously, it's without power.
有人的心是跟世界连在一起，
Some people's hearts are connected to the world.
整天想就是肉体的情欲、眼目的情欲、今生的骄傲。
They keep thinking of the lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of the world.
那这样的话，你再祷告也没有力量。
If you're like this, no matter how much you pray, it's useless. It's without strength.
所以得力从哪里来？
So where do we gain strength?
第一个要安静，
First is through quietness.
第二个要信靠神，
Second is to trust in God.
这就是我们的力量。
These are our strength.
我们来看一段圣经
Let's refer to one Bible verse.
约翰福音第8章
Let's refer to John chapter 8.
约翰福音第8章
John chapter 8,
第1节。
verse 1. John chapter 8, verse 1. Now it came to pass afterward that he went through every city and village, preaching and bringing the glad tidings
约
of the
翰
kingdom.
8章第1节。
Sorry. John chapter 8, verse 1. But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives.
第2节。
Verse 2. Now early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them.
OK， 这个第8章第1节前面一句有的英文是连在第7章最后一句个人都回家，耶稣往橄榄山去。
So chapter 7, verse 53, starting from there, and everyone went to his own house. Chapter 8, but Jesus went to the Mount of
8
Olives.
节清早又回到店里去，
Now early in the morning he came again to the temple,
他就坐下来教训他们。
and he sat down and taught them.
所以这个第1节就是主耶稣有一个安静的时间
So in chapter 8, verse 1, it says that Jesus has this quiet time.
然后他进到店里教训人，他就带有权柄。
He went to the temple and taught people, and he arrived with authority.
那接下去我们就看到一个人带着正在行淫被抓到的妇人来问摩西来问主耶稣，
And then later on we see that the scribes and the Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery.
要不要把他打死？
And they asked Jesus,
一大群人一直问主耶稣，
and they kept asking Jesus, should they
一直问主耶
slaughter,
稣
stone her?
你看主耶稣非常安静，
We see that Jesus is very quiet.
他坐下来在地上画着，
Jesus sat down
一句话就解决了问题。
and he resolved all the problems through one word.
谁没有罪的，你可以用石头把他打。
They, he said that they might have, he who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first.
所以他不是跟他们辩了，一句话就解决。
So he did not even debate with them, but he instead just asked them one question.
这个就是力量。
This is strength.
面对这么一大群人，他很安静，他有力量来解决。
Facing such a big congregation, he was able to quiet down and resolve their issues with just a question.
所以做圣工很重要。
So when we're doing divine work, it's very
但
important.
是做圣工之前，那个安静的预备，真的是一样重要的。
But the preparation and the quietness before we do this holy work is similarly important.
所以我们做圣工很好，但是一定要常常在神面前要平静安稳。
It's very important and good that we do holy work, but when we are doing holy work, we have to have this quiet heart before God.
那我们在做圣工当中就有力量把我们工作做完。
then we will have this strength when we're doing this holy work to complete them,
能够荣耀神、造就人。
to glorify God and edify men.
那我们联恩会啊，就是在神面前的一种安静。
And our spiritual convocation is a time that we can quiet down
我
ourselves.
们个人有问题，教会有问题，我们来信靠神。
For our personal problems and the problems that church is facing, we entrust all of them to God.
那我们来检讨，来回转归向神。
Let us reflect, self-examine, and return to God.
那我们就发现，我们在联会会重新得力。
Then we will realize that we can regain our strength through spiritual convocation.
唱诗
Now let's sing hymn
455
455.
455。
Sing hymn 455.